Hey guys, welcome back to Susan Shares. Hi Susan.
Hi Susan.
I love it when Susan does Susan Shares with me. I love it 5 times.
She loves it more than I do.
Susan hates to do it. Really, she does. So
but I'll do it for you, Susan.
See, isn't that sweet? I just love it when she does. And I asked her to do it with me today because of a very special reason. It was close to a year ago, if not a full year.
It's your birthday.
It was my birthday, actually, and that's next month, in January, that I picked a word of the year, and I asked you to pick a word, and my word was joy. And Susan got me a bracelet that I just dearly love that says joy, and I've been really, the word joy has become to mean something that it didn't before. Now, I still do think of joy a lot of the same ways, but it certainly has become a deeper meaning to me than it did close to a year ago. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, and I thought it would be just perfect for Susan to do the Susan Shares with me, since she gave me this bracelet, and I know that she intended for me to do that very thing, to pray about joy, to experience joy in a different way. And I to her, what was your word, Susan?
It was abide. It was John 15:5.
So I know that she herself has done that for her word, abide. But for the word joy, and we'll do abide, I'll bring her back again to talk about the word abide, because I love that word too. So she'll have to do another Susan Shares, right, Susan?
I guess.
Okay. And, but so, to me, for the word joy, one of the things that I happened on was actually on Steve's men's devotion book that I thought was so powerful, because it's something that I've grown to learn to love about the word joy. And it's something that I found, and I wish I could take credit for it, but it's what I'm paraphrasing what I read in his devotional book. It said, joy is not necessarily the absence of suffering, but the presence of God. And isn't that a beautiful way of talking about joy?
Yeah.
So, because joy, a year ago we did say, even together, that, a lot of times joy is happy, which it is. There's a lot of happiness in joy. When I think of the word joy, I think of happiness. And there is a lot of happiness in joy. But the deeper meaning of joy, that you can still have joy because of God, even in suffering because of God. You can still have joy.
And I was just telling you when she mentioned to me that she wanted me to be on this tonight, and she said we were going to talk about the joy, the bracelet and everything, and what came to my mind was the verse Hebrews 12:2, because I heard John Piper preach a sermon based on that passage years ago, and it says that for the joy set before him, Christ endured the cross. And so just what you said there, it just fits so perfectly with that. It's not the absence of suffering, because Jesus suffered on the cross, but it was the presence of God. And he knew through his suffering that he was going to go back to his Father. And then too, I think part of that joy was just the joy in knowing that he was going to redeem us. So I think that verse just fits perfectly with that statement there.
I love it. And there's another scripture that just has become really, and I learned this when I was a little girl, and that is in Philippians 4:4, where it says rejoice. I took the joy out of rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. That is so powerful to me, even in because I find joy to be contagious.
Yes.
So if I'm joyous and I'm around Susan, she picks up on that. If Susan's joyous and I'm not, I pick up on her joy. Joy, I find, is contagious. And when you're around people that are joyful in their heart, no matter their circumstances, I want to be around them more. And do you find that?
Oh, absolutely.
to be true. And so I pick up on their joy. And that's what the verse in Scripture, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice because that's what He wants. He wants that comes from God. And if God's all over us and we can rejoice even in times of suffering, or even no matter our circumstances,
Right, always.
it doesn't have to be in our suffering. It can be in our times
Absolutely.
of joy, and it can be in difficult times, or it can be in happy times. But if we are contagious in our joy, and when our families are together, when have wonderful friendships, and our joy is contagious no matter our circumstances, that is a contagious kind of joy. And I love that.
I agree. And it's the presence of God.
It is.
Whether the situation is good or bad, it's the presence of God.
And Susan,
Yeah, this was just laid on my table when we came in here to do this. And, of course, a Christmas card. And we always talk about joy to the world at Christmas. And that's the joy we have, is the baby Jesus that was born.
it was just a great reminder. It was
Yes.
just sitting there, and what a beautiful reminder just as we talk about joy, because there's the true joy.
Absolutely. And the inside of the card says, this Christmas, may you be reminded of the miracle of Christ's birth, and may the hope the Lord brings follow you into the new year. So,
I don't think we could say it any better. So from Susan and Susan, we wish you great joy
Yes.
this Christmas season.
Absolutely.
We love you. Bye-bye.
bye-bye.